guys. Let me get set up here. Okay, what's going on here? Yes. Okay, show more. Today's January 3rd. Okay, wow. I think I'm okay. Okay, let me find you guys. Whoops, that's not the right place. Whoops, okay, mute, me, whoop, there we go. Oh, hi, there we go. Okay, let's see, hi you guys. Hi, Larry girl. Hi, Denise. Happy New Year, AHT. Hi, Love Mother Earth. Hi, GM Dave. Clarence Fields is in the house. Nice to see you. Hi, Claudia. Hi, John. Hi, you guys. Are you having a good evening? Hi, Rick Gonzalez. Hey, Clarence was first today. Hey, room. Okay, so, hi, Mother of Fire. How is this energy feeling to you right now? I am feeling very, I don't know if anxious is the word. I just feel like this energy is kind of like drumming along. I can't even explain it. I'm not walking on eggshells. I'm kind of giddy, but I'm tense. The energies are really flowing much differently in this January 1, 2021 year. And everything would change. Remember when I said, this is about infinite possibilities. And that's why we started writing our new moon wishes last November with the Scorpio sun, because she was all about transforming everything. We wanted to transform it to the platform that we wanted. Well, here we are in 2021, and this energy just feels kind of, I speckled. I cannot even come up with a word. I also wonder if Mercury is shadow yet, because we do have Mercury retrograde at the end of the month, but we can usually feel these things a little ahead of time. I'm starting to confuse these details, but I am just, I don't even have the words to describe this weird energy. I'm just trying to settle myself into it, because it's what you guys probably know the words. I will tell you, I'm not prepared for this live, but so much stuff is happening behind the scenes. We got to catch up to that before we move on, because everything is bursting and bursting and bursting. I'm hoping that I can cover these things. Oh, I got sniff. Aren't they pretty? I got these for you guys. Pretty flowers. Happy New Year. There's some eucalyptus in here. I forgot how good eucalyptus smells. But these are definitely the things down here that I want to talk about, but they're so interrelated. I would say that the biggest piece is what happened here on Christmas Day. That triggered a lot of things, and then that filing that I last talked about, and it was my hypothesis that Department of Justice filing, I have it posted in the community. I know some of the links weren't working, but I did reply to some of the people with the correct link. And there's a download there. It's a 44-page document from the Department of Justice on just this thing that they filed about 2 Ukrainian oligarchs and forfeiture of some like hundreds of millions of property, millions of dollars of properties in the United States, starting in Ohio. It's huge. So it was this thing in MusicCity and this filing by the Department of Justice, I think that was on January 30th around 5 p.m. That's why they left early from Mar-a-Lago. And that is showing all over the place. We have to talk about CervezaVirus because some more information came out. And I decided to look at the chart of this first case that came out. That was actually in 2019, found in the U.S., a month ahead of time when it was discovered and reported out of the China. So welcome, everybody. Welcome, returning subscribers. Hello, wonderful moderators. If you're new to my channel, I do things a little bit differently. I do tarot cards and I do astrology cards. You don't have to know anything about astrology. What I do is I use that as a tool to tell a story. It gives me a lot of depth. And what we find happens is that it carries the narrative from week to week to week. Lately, I've been talking a lot about asteroids, and holy heck, you guys, we're back to the asteroid WUHAN. I can't say this because, you know, the YouTube will get buffered. I also use a lot of nicknames because the YouTube, I have no wiggle room with my channel in saying things that are of the triggery thing to the YouTube and the Donald. So if you don't know what a nickname is, please ask. Someone will answer the question for you, okay? Because there's a lot of names. Just little tidbits here for information. You want to see some really kick-ass hockey? Okay, so the World Juniors Championship right now is going on. Our Team USA has been playing out of their mind. I am a huge hockey fan. I knew the last couple of years they wouldn't do so well because of the Saturn transit in Capricorn that's been making everybody crazy. So I expected them to do better this year because we're getting over these things that were really compromising to them. You guys, they are playing out of their mind. Like I've told you, my kid was born on the 4th. He's a Yankee Doodle dandy. And usually when I'm watching him, I kind of can get a sense on how the nation's health is. And between him and this Team USA, how they're performing, we're in such a great place. I just love it that these are our young people and they're shining so brightly. This team is so fast. They play Tuesday night in the semifinals against Finland, and hopefully they win, and hopefully they'll play for gold on Tuesday night. But it's a really fun team to watch. They've been extraordinary. And then, you guys, I finally had an orb the other night. You know, I've said this I think in our discussions on the Twitter. Like, I'm terrified to have an orb. I know that Revealing Light Tarot has a lot of orbs, and I knew that Truth Warrior is such a magnet for them. And I love seeing them because they look so fun and playful with them. But I'm like, I'm still going to freak out. I don't want to see one. I don't want to see one. You know, I'm willing to feel out any type of energy, but the minute I see it, freak out. Well, the other night, filming Lily Coy, and all of a sudden, zoop, right in front of the camera. I'm like, oh my gosh, what is that? And it was an orb. Long story short, came to find out because I'm like, who was that? Who's in my house? Because it better be one of my peeps. It was my mom. And part of the clue on how I solved that mystery was that she kept leaving the hint of Libra. So I'm like thinking about my chart, my astrological chart, because, and you guys are going to go, oh, yeah, nice. Yeah. Because in my chart, the very top of my chart, we talk about this, the sun's highest point. In my chart is the planet Uranus. It's actually the planet of astrology. Okay, so hello. It's also, you know, kind of that genius insight of like Einstein, where you just can download information and solve a problem. So it's basically, for me, my chart, you know, it's almost like I get to hoist a giant antenna at the top of my chart, and it just sends out a signal, and I can just receive anything out there very easily, information, and take it all in. And it's in the sign of Libra. So it's disposited by the planet Venus. Okay? So I can asteroid conjunct the top of my chart with the planet Uranus is George Washington. Isn't that so cool? I think that's why it's so easy for me to, like, this is like my thing. Who knew political tarot and astrology would be my thing 4 years ago? I was just pissed off. Someone took my ballot and I couldn't vote. And that's how I discovered tarot and finally bought a deck in 2018. Right? So that's how we ended up here. But I just thought that was so cool. So I'm only allowing George Washington orbs and my mom in here. Okay? So, Team USA. Let me check in with you guys really quickly. How are you? Oh no. Venus made it buffer? Crike. I told you. I know. I know. I can't believe I started in 2018 either. Regina, so, how are you guys doing? Buffering. What did you miss in the buffer? Anything? Okay. Yes, please click the thumbs up. Thank you, Steve. Let me know if what you missed. Hi, hello from Ohio. Only for a couple seconds. Okay. I need to use the Queen's code. I don't know how much more code that is. Okay. So, okay. So that was kind of cool. I had to share that with you. Okay, let's go to the next easiest thing. We did this. We did this. Okay, let's go down here. I need to preface this. We're going to go back to this asteroid WUHAN because if I can't say Venus, the planet, like I'm going to be able to say this city in China. So what I have found, and for those of you who've been with me for a while, this is just OMG. So this asteroid has been prominent, super prominent in 1918 with the plague, the Spanish flu. You know, the planet Pluto has to do with life and death, like mass life and death, like massive destruction, mass deaths, like warring, destructive. This WUHAN asteroid is a biatch. It does not have a nice history with us. Well, with the Spanish flu, this asteroid, it only takes 4 years to orbit. So it goes about, it moves about 1 degree and a little bit per day. So it's hustling, it's moving. So this asteroid with the 1918 Spanish flu was conjunct exact USA natal Pluto. Pearl Harbor, it was at 29 degrees Scorpio. The USA chart has something very beneficial at 28 degrees, but it was almost like this thing got behind its back where USA couldn't do her magic and just got dragged. And pay attention to this 29 degrees, because I told you at the Saturn-Pluto conjunction on January 12th of 2020, we remedied that. We healed that, okay? And then on the 9er, 11er, this thing, WUHAN, I believe was 11 degrees Leo. And both George W. Bush and Bill Clinton have their WH asteroid, or their natal Plutos, at 11 degrees. Don Holio, his is at 10 degrees. He's just kind of in the background there. That happened. 9/11. Okay, so this asteroid, no, that's not it. And I printed up a bunch of charts. So apparently, now there was an article, I don't know, it was Bloomberg or Wall Street Journal, something like that. And I remember seeing this last winter. It has not gotten a lot of coverage at all, but basically saying that CervezaVirus, this connects, I'll show you how. And I can't say what CervezaVirus stands for, 19, because that buffers too. But there was actually, when they went back in retrospect and they were looking, like at lab cases and results, that there was actually a 4-year-old boy, I think in Colorado, on November 21st, 2019, had a test that was positive for this. So we're talking about November 2019, a full month ahead plus in, I think, Colorado, before it was ever reported out of China. And this is what pulls in the stuff with the MusicCity and with that filing last week. Okay, so this is all relevant. So what I did was, I'm going to draw a chart for, just a generic chart for November 21st, 2019 at 12 o'clock for Denver, Colorado, because basically that's the middle of the day in the middle of the country. Things aren't that off. Well, first of all, on that day, the sun, 2019, was 29 degrees Scorpio. This, until last year, 29 degrees was the act of war on Pearl Harbor. 29 degrees. So that made me go, what? There's some more whats. Wait till you see this. This one pisses me off. But this is how they leave their cosmic fingerprints all over the place. So here in Pisces, the United States, this is over. Who are we? In the first house of identity. Who are you? Well, the asteroid Russia was at 10 degrees Pisces. 10 degrees Pisces is a very sensitive part for our chart. You can see this planet here. This is, asteroid here. This is actually Nessus. And Nessus asteroid is just nasty. He's 2 degrees away from our Nessus return. So Nessus takes like 122 years to go all the way around. So this is a critical point, 10 degrees Pisces, where the Russia is. Nessus in one's natal chart basically symbolizes where your abuser are. Your abuser is in your chart because it's so disgustingly gross abusive. I don't even want to tell the story. You guys go look up the story about him, and he's gross and disgusting, kind of like one of Don Julio's gross thugs, like that. So we have the rusher sitting on our point of being abused, used and abused. So there's that. Mars. No. Now, look at this. Oh, this makes me so mad. Oh, US. This is here. I didn't even notice this until now. The United States in her natal chart, I didn't print it, and I'm going to try. In her natal chart, maybe I did. It's not listed. I believe, I could be wrong, but I think that at 7 degrees Sagittarius, this might have just been a lunation, but this is jumping out at me right now. This is USA vertex. The vertex is the point in a chart, kind of like we're different planes of the Earth and its orbit and where things meet. It's a totally geometric, algebraic something equation. It's kind of like where things collide, the world opens up for synchronicity. Serendipitous things happen. It's like where the thing finally, like worlds and doors open and then something bloop, happens. It's like fate. It's pointed and meant to be. I always say, like, I met my future husband in New Orleans on what's that major street? But it was really weird because I met him, but like, and this is far away, but 2 weeks earlier, his 2 best friends were sitting behind me at a playoff hockey game while I was on a bad date. And I remembered them because I was like, I'd rather hang out with them. And then here we are 2 weeks later. Brrr, oh, hi. Nice to meet you. So that's kind of the vertex. Things just open up. So the USA, crowning the skies, USA, 7 degrees, Sagittarius, is this other asteroid Holio, Moscow. This is the first case, November 21st. And then this is the kicker. USA chart. On the ascendant, the thing that gives us life and how we greet the world and how we're perceived and our, how we interact with the world. The ascendant, that life-giving ascendant, is at 12 degrees Sagittarius. When 9/11 happened, transit Pluto was 12 degrees Sag. It's like all of a sudden, boom. Pluto being that planet of death and destruction. Look at this WUHAN, WUH. 12 degrees Sagittarius. Whose fingerprints are all over this? When the CervezaVirus first came to the United States, the sun is at 29 degrees, the thing that pulled us into World War II, that vulnerable degree. We're being abused by the rusher. The vertex opened up for Moscow to strike, and there is that WUH asteroid right on the, and we hardly even noticed. So, oh my God. And I didn't even see this. This mofo, I'm so tired of him. I am so tired of him. My asteroid, Washington, my mom sent me the orb. Look at it. It's 25 degrees Cancer, 6th house public servants. This is Don Julio's Venus. Venus are things that you value income, gains, favors. In the 6th house of the public servants, military, has he done anything to defend us? No. The 6th house of health care. You think Donald was in on it, you guys? Ugh. Oh my God. Oh my God. Look at this too. Did you see this? Did you see this? I told you I wasn't prepared for tonight, and all this stuff is just jumping out of me. The North Node, where the direction we're proceeding, quote, life's purpose, is 9 degrees Cancer. The Uranian planet Hades, god of the underworld, is 9 degrees Cancer. So we're getting our butts kicked. Don Julio sees it as something of value. Screw healthcare. The moon is in the 7th house of we, the people. And the mission in this 5th house, which represents the 5th house of the sun is the leader of a nation. He's the king, and his mission is god of the underworld with this, I'm so tired of him. Oh God, and Jupiter's right there at the galactic center, really charging this up on a world level. That is what happened November. So whose fingerprints are all over this? Don Julio. His Venus, which is like the Trump organization. Our public servants, our military, our investigations, our agencies. The Russia is right there in the 1st house saying, woohoo, look at me. I'm beating you up on your abuser. And then in the skies above, we've got the WUHAN virus pounding our ascendant. And there's the masker taking advantage of it while the sun is at 29 degrees Scorpio. That is the first freaking case that we know of so far. That's what the universe showed me. This is for entertainment purposes only. This is what happened. Their cosmic fingerprints are all over it. Now, this was November 2019. I have told you recently the things that move me to tears when I'm looking at astrology charts, and I'm probably the only one who probably weeps and cries when I look at them. But most recently, you guys remember this one? I think it was around the time of maybe Lincoln's speech with the Gettysburg Address sometime in December. I was like, you guys, we're okay. Because, for you newbies, everyone's been talking about the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction. It's awesome. The bigger news nobody has been talking about all year is a Saturn-Pluto conjunction back on January 12th, 2020, because it promised to restructure power and governments around the globe. And that's why 2020 has sucked, or as I've been saying lately, sucked donkey balls. It's because of that Saturn-Pluto conjunction that has demanded world governments change in structure and power. And something really, really, really magical happened that day. By the way, we're still in this cycle, so we're almost done with it. But something very magical happened that day, and it's the thing that has made me so optimistic for the United States and being able to defend herself, because there's obviously this vulnerability at 29 degrees Scorpio where we haven't been able to defend ourselves. It's like if they know that little trap door, that secret door is open, they can just obliterate us. But at the Saturn-Pluto conjunction, this is the United States. Wait a second. Saturn, Pluto, oh my God. Okay, here it is. Dun, dun, dun. La, 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 la. We the people, we're in this area, the 7th house. This is our the real estate we own. We, at the Saturn-Pluto conjunction on January 12, 2020, the asteroid now occupying this space at 29 degrees 1 minute, 58 seconds, is America. America is back. She has got this final degree, this final say-so on life and death, politics, espionage, things that are taboo, shared resources like taxes, and America has got eagle eyes. She can see, she's like got x-ray vision now. You cannot hide anything anymore. She stands here kind of at the gate, watching everything happen ahead of her. You know, and Scorpio is ruled, one of its rulers is Pluto. Life, death, transformation. So she's just watching this whole thing like, really? No, I have the last say-so. And I have the last say-so as I hand off the energies to this area of Sagittarius, which has to do with the law. Our faith, our philosophy, our laws, extremists, higher institutions, the Department of Justice. So, but even though this happened in January, she couldn't do anything until the sun got to Scorpio in November to be able to unleash that. And what happened in November? We had an election. Something happened. Kind of a big deal. Look how much has transformed since then. So that is testimony to me. We are going to absolutely 100% not only come out of it, but if this is the first punch that was landed, we are going to clean up and lead and investigate and get to the very bottom of every little thing that's happened since this CervezaVirus showed up on our shores. We're just getting started. And that's why he's freaking out so badly. Okay, I just said a lot of stuff. I'm just going to take a little break, check in with you guys. Does that make sense, you guys? Yes, for entertainment purposes only. Yes, Larry girl, all those Newman wishes we did for like 2 weeks, it exhausted me, but we carved out the path for right now so that when we had the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction, those wishes, those intentions are waiting for us, especially at the Capricorn new moon, because Pluto is still in Capricorn. We're still in eclipse weather from Sagittarius, but when we get to that new moon in Capricorn, I don't know when it is, we get to activate all that stuff we created. So we are so far ahead of everybody else. So this is where the cool kids sit, you guys. Oh yeah, HT, I want to listen to all. I only read a couple minutes of that. Okay, let's see. How are you guys? Oh boy. Okay. There we go. It's okay. I'm tired too. I'm just tired of all this. Okay. Yes, Tish Jackson, I saw that too. They're no longer defending the P-Boys. Crazy. Happy birthday, Michael Grant. Michael and Todd. Oh my gosh, and Tish and H. You guys and Bonnie. I just have to comment on the little chat you guys had in the last video. I found it very intriguing with a ton of information you guys brought with detail, some things I haven't heard before. I don't know, it was Michael or Doug. One of you guys said the last 40 years. I have answers for that. I have stuck a pin in it for you guys. Yeah, I can explain that, and we're done with, that's over with too. Okay? Okay. Yes, night, Clarence. Thanks for coming. Yeah, Nancy is ready to pounce. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna move on. Okay, next part. Oh my God, how do I even talk about this? Let's put this one away. This one away. This away. Nope, I'm going to talk about just one more thing. I'll talk about it in more detail, but I just want you to see this because I was screaming when I saw this. So the last Jupiter-Saturn conjunction we had was actually in the year 2000. The reason why the one was so special that we had in December is because it was in an air sign. It was in Aquarius. We haven't had anything like this for like 1,000 years. And going to an air sign, Saturn is totally in its dominion there. It owes no one anything, not even the sun, which is the center of our solar system. It's so in control. It's an air element. You cannot contain air. Just like Don Julio on that recording. Bluster, 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 bluster. He can intimidate. But you can't contain the air of him or the person online. The air can go anywhere. There's no boundaries. But when we had Saturn in Capricorn, which is an earth sign and tangible, well, you better believe that those words have consequences because they result in, you know, maybe like the National Guard at Lafayette Square. Building boundaries, you cannot pass them. And you are vulnerable and at the mercy of the boundary of those who are in charge because it's earthy in our bodies. Here, you don't have a choice. But now we've got Saturn in Aquarius in an air sign. It encourages us to look beyond our boundaries. Don't look at our boundaries between the sun to Saturn. No, it's saying look beyond the physical boundary. We are going to look now to Uranus, which is innovation. We're going to look now to Neptune, which is inspiration, our spirituality. We can now look even now to Pluto, which is our passion and our transformation. We can do this safely with structure. It's so magical. That's why he can't have control of the narrative or what people do anymore. Everyone's like, it's just bluster, it's just words, forget them. You know, but when Saturn was in Capricorn, earthy, you know, they got people showing up on their door. They've got intimidation. They've got like physical things happening to them. But now it's like, nope, bye. But here's the thing. So this last Jupiter-Saturn conjunction occurred in 2000 in May, in earthy sign Taurus. When you start looking at powerhouse planets in earthy Taurus, think about the plutocrats. Think about this generation who had Pluto in Taurus or they had Venus in Taurus. You're thinking about like the Rockefellers. You're fast forward, I can't remember how, but like the Koch brothers have a lot of Taurus power. All these old guys with a lot of money, that's where the Jupiter-Saturn happened. It happened overseas, lands far away. So now we've got businesses and billionaires interested in investing overseas. And this was right in the area of commerce for the Russia back in 2000. So like I'm thinking about the 1%. Remember that whole movement? And at the top of this chart, this asteroid Russia now is at 29 degrees Taurus. They're right in our business at the top of this, kind of having the last say, hey, you guys want to invest over here? We can do it. Right now, this Russia is still at 29 degrees Taurus, but it's retrograde. It's moving away. It's moving backwards. It's like, bye-bye. We're not having anything to do with you anymore. But the thing that is just killing me about this chart, it's exactly Don Julio's natal chart. You guys see this? Donald's natal chart. His midheaven, the top of his chart, where he strives to be, 24 Taurus. The last Jupiter-Saturn, 23 Taurus. The ascendant, the thing giving life to this Jupiter-Saturn, 28 degrees Leo. His ascendant is 29 degrees Leo. It's like this was made for him. His Mars is at 26 degrees Leo. He is charged up, ready to go and run away with this. And then this North Node, our direction, life's purpose, 25 degrees Cancer. That's his flipping Venus again. It is like he was meant to do this the next 20 years. Cannot get away from it at all. Oh, look, there's the moon. 3 degrees Aries, right next to the asteroid Masker. And then we, the people, we have Pisces here. Confusion, haze, cloud, deception. We're like, what's going on? We know something's wrong with WH asteroid right in our face, in our business. 2000. That was the last time we had Jupiter Saturn. It totally restructures now. Don Julio's out. It doesn't help him at all. He has been leveraging cosmic forces for like 2 decades, and he's had plenty of people to help him get to where he is right now. But that's all over with. It's all over with. So we're done with him. He can leave. He can leave. Bye. How are you guys doing? Hi, you guys. Wow, Holly, that sounds sweet. Okay, okay, here we go. So, I was not charged when I started this. How are we doing? I've got 15% battery now. Okay. So anything happened since this full moon? He is exhausting. Let's go back to this. This full moon. Over Washington, D.C. These two things are the same charts. Right now, this moon is hiding out here in this 11th house. 11 degrees, Virgo. In this area of secrets. Hasn't it just felt super secretive what he's been up to the last couple days? And I told you at the start of this, there was going to be a lot of confusion. Like they're going to be doing this, doing that. I'm going to distract you with this and that and pow, pow, pow to confuse you guys so nobody can figure out what my escape plan is, what's going on. So we started this full moon, skies over Washington, the moon in the 10th house. What is this? 8 degrees Cancer, conjunct his North Node and his Mercury, his kids, his contracts, his communications. And then, the moon was 18 degrees Cancer. What day was that? Wednesday? That's when the Department of Justice had that filing, which is so important. Basically, they had a filing for forfeiture of a $55 million building in the middle of Cleveland, Ohio. That building was used as kind of like the base company for, 57 shell companies to loan money from to acquire other properties. But they found out all these shell companies, they ended up trying to hide this money. They didn't do what they said they were going to do, like improve a business or whatever. Instead, what they actually did was, buy another building. Maybe let's have a steel company in Kentucky, Mitch McConnell. And they had other shell companies like in Key Biscayne, Florida, or Biscayne Boulevard, Florida, Miami, in West Virginia, in Kentucky, in Illinois, in Dallas, in West Virginia. Gee, who are all those senators in those areas? The one in Illinois is like right on the border of Wisconsin. And this filing was seeking forfeiture of this building from the two people who owned it, who happened to be two Ukrainian oligarchs who worked in Ukraine, who I don't know if they were a president of Ukraine, but something of that level, kind of like what they did in the Russia. Over time, this bank that they are referring to This is the name of it, without the E. But they basically took a local bank where Ukrainians had all their money. They created another department in it to let them, you know, have say over loans and stuff. Basically, this was nationalized, and they stole all the money and invested all the money in the United States to have properties. Our freaking deputy attorney general signed off on this the day before New Year's Eve around 5:15 p.m. You should see the beast of this filing. And then Don Julio left Mar-a-Lago within hours after this filing and came back. This was incredible. And then here, when the moon got over here, where are we? We're still in Cancer at 19 degrees Cancer. That's when Don Julio said, hey, we're going to go to war with Iran because they're bad. Whatever, everyone's ignoring him. Then the moon, like Thursday, went into Leo. Oh, God. The moon was 8 degrees Leo. Pelosi's home was vandalized. 13 degrees Leo. The Senate overrode Don Julio. He is so hurt by that. A bunch of stuff happened over here. I just could not even keep up. But here we are. Today, 10 Virgo were the Trump tapes. The moon was over here. Over here, I had highlighted, this was of concern for me because I felt like there was going to be some real funny business. And that is like the time interval where there was funny business going on. So it's that DOJ filing was so important about the Ukrainian thing. Now, basically, since I knew this transit moon was in this area of secrets, I'm like, this is such a good time to dig in their secrets and what they're doing because, you know, the universe is lending me a hand. So I was digging around a lot. One thing was, and sometimes I just have to ask it out loud, and I do a tarotscope on them where I use the astrology and the tarot cards. So one of the questions I had asked was about his CO up, his co-up. I can't say that word. What is that about, and who are the players? Oh my gosh. Can you believe that? So this is one thing. I'll talk about this. The other thing, as I was realizing, this shifts back now to MusicCity. What happened? Nobody's talking about that. Why? There's a major thing that happened. The person, information found about that person who had the RV and set that off, Tony. He's the one with that RV in MusicCity. Gave this lady, Michelle, they looked through past court case. There were 2 quitclaim deeds on 2 houses he gave to her. One was for like $160,000. The other was $250,000, and she's from Nashville. And then, not only did he give her 2 houses, there was a picture of the both of them in front of Air Force One on January 18th, 2018. So, of course, I'm like, what the heck happened January 18th, 2018? So she works for this company, AE Entertainment. It is a subsidiary of this, okay? It was founded in 2002. She is the director of talent development, because what this thing does Now, remember, we're talking about MusicCity. She's the director of talent development. I was like, oh, this is all I need to know. What she does, she has a data-driven approach to development. Data, did you say data? Did she freaking say data? Really? Yeah. So on this day, AEG, they did a lot on that day. One of them, because, okay, so you know how there's shell companies and the shell game going on with real estate. Well, this is merely entering a different domain to do more of that, you know, because above all, doing the shell game is to launder moolah and data and assets, because all those people are sanctioned lands far away. So what they want to do, so they're in the real estate, this thing gets them into entertainment and sports, music events, food and beverage, globally. And on this day, what was it, January 18th? These two photographed in front of Air Force One with a bunch of people from this place, because on that day, they did AEG did a big sign-on with the Los Angeles Kings of the National Hockey League. And I'm like, are you kidding me? That's how they do it. This is the back door. So, are you with me still? Are you with me, C, still? How are you guys doing? Okay. Thank you, Bob. I can't turn it off. I told you I have that Uranus at the top of my chart with my mom's Washington asteroid throwing information at me all the time. So this is what happened. So found that, and I'm like, what's this data-driven thing? What is she doing? What does this have to do with those houses? Well, basically, she is the person. She and Tony are the people on the ground who run stuff back and forth. But get this. Let's go over here to shared resources. The Seven of Pentacles. That's an investment. Shared resources, money, data, data-driven. There's Mark Burnett, and there's Susan Rice. She knows we have our people all over this. Oh my God, it's so bad, you guys. We'll just start at the beginning, okay? So just listen to the story. If you can't follow this, don't worry. I'll just tell the story, okay? So on the ascendant of the chart of the AEG, I drew a chart up for that date in 2018 that I was using. Where to go? The new company subsidiary. I mean, oh my God, it's having its Mars return. And it's George Washington is at 23 degrees Aries. Mars was at 23 degrees Aries. We're having an Eris return, and Mars has been here for 6 months. Remember, we had Mars right. So it's been digging all this stuff up. So when I threw out the tarotscope, we're looking at the ascendant, the thing that gives life to the chart. Get this. She has the Knight of Cups and the Eight of Cups. What's giving life to her as a person with this company with Tony? And what do? Well, AEG is right there. There's a no, meaning there's the Knight of Cups. They're trying to cover up their association with the Knight of Cups. That's Don Julio and other people making offers. So that's how this company functions. Eight of Cups, set things up. Oh, AEG. Oh, look, there's Calgon Chow. There too. She uses it. If you see names in parentheses, that's because that person had that card right next to the other person. It's kind of like a handoff. So that's why I put them in parentheses, because they're important, because it's like something got handed off. We've got Susan Rice there. That is her secret about Michelle and the Knight of Cups that offers come. Josh Hawley. Josh, Knight of Cups, he makes offers. But former, he's not D&I, Brennan. You know who I'm talking about, Brennan and Clint Watts. You guys know these guys. There are our security and analytics and counter espionage. They know they're setting this stuff up. Oh, here's the Pfizer vax in warehouses. And then the 500 vaxes that were destroyed. That was a secret, because Don Julio is angry. I did a tarotscope on Mitch. What's going on with Bill Barr? What is he doing? Because he's doing all sorts of stuff behind the scene. Basically, yeah, so he quit at the holidays. It's so he can just keep running errands. He's still on the run doing stuff for Donald, 6-1's mob, people all around the globe to like get things going, because they're in so much trouble. Back on November 14th, I don't know who did the interview with Senator Ron Johnson. On November 14th, Senator Ron Johnson admitted to this person. Yeah, I know Biden won. He clearly won. It was a free, fair election. But it would be political suicide for me to admit that. So that's his connection with Michelle AG. I also read on 3 Confidants on Don Julio. There's number 1. There's Tom Cotton. We also have the North Korea. Callista at the Vatican. Netanyahu. North Korea again. Because I did 2. Oh, there's Rand Paul. All of them using it. Who is she? What's her identity with this AEG thing? Well, it's the sun. Sun, that's leaders of nations. So why did Tony Kill himself? Because of the sun. The sun. People were finding out. Look at that. Gru had the sun here on the ascendant. Pompeo right here, who I am. MBS on the ascendant. There's Rand Paul again. This is who I am. This is income gains and values. Oh, so you see there's an arrow here. So this secrets over here are what's filling the pocketbooks here. Got that? Who's filling their pockets? How Putin feels about 46. What Bill Barr's doing. The Gru, Elaine Chao Jr., this guy, Rob, left Facebook suddenly last week. He's in charge of advertising. Mitch, in his secret about North Korea and KYJ, you know, Kim Jong-un's sister, KYJ, and Bill Barr. That's how incomes and gains are happening through her. And who's getting the money? Josh. This Yosef guy, he just came out and said, yeah, oh no, low battery. Okay. Sorry, you guys. I might get cut off, and that'll just be the end of it. But this is the guy who came out and confessed, hey, I lied about what I said about Biden's son working for us. Pompeo, Donald Trump's veto. Here, communications, Ted Cruz, Elaine Chao. The Vandals for Nancy. So you can see, we've got Russian intelligence. We've got Netanyahu. We've got MBS. We've got North Korea. All coming in through her. She is through MusicCity, There is a connection here to the filing with the DOJ, and I can't remember what it is right now. But that maybe it's because these guys are running around between that and that. Donald is freaking out about that. Let's just go to Donald. So, this is PEB elect. I'm sorry, I'm switching gears all over the place. I'm afraid my battery is going to die. When I ask him if he knows what brought CervezaVirus here, this is it. He is so pissed off. Coates knows Semyon. Bill Barr, Tom Cotton. Shell companies being banned from our defense bill. This Barr number 2. He knows all of this. They know it's related to that's a foreign services agency with the Russia. There's Tom Barrack. Susan Rice knows, yay. There's Jarrett. This is who I am. This is Donald's secret, income gains. Why the IG was removed from Elaine Chao. What the FBI has on Bill behind bars. The third confidant. There's Bibi. There's Eric Prince. There's Chao. There's Jared Putin. All these. This is what was in the PDB. This is what PEB elect knows. And then Don Julio. Why is he on the run? What's his? Where is it? His co-op. He's pissed. Why? Because of the Empress, Russia, 6 Swords, transmitting stuff. 6 Swords is love. There was a filing with him recently. He's a co-op, and Pompeo's gonna help. So is Cash, but the CIA knows. He's hoping Bibi Netanyahu will help him. Look at this. This is why he's doing this, because of the connection of AEG to Trump. That's Michelle and Tony. Self-node, letting go of the sun, letting go of the second economy of billionaires. This is why he wants out. His gains, the defense bill didn't pass. He is so hurt. He's using the malware to cover for that. He's so butthurt that they did not follow him. This is why he wants out. I'm out. I'm going to have my own takeover. The 6 of Pentacles, that has to do with CervezaVirus being the U.S. The FBI knows about this AEG, Michelle and Tony, about Eric Prince and how this happened, about Mitch, knows about North Korea and KYJ. There's Netanyahu. This is, just look at these names. I don't have to read them all. Michelle works with the Vatican. Remember last week I said the Vatican, the Pope, changed the secretariat, that office of the Secretary of State, to a different department? That's because Michelle had data going in and out, and Callista was involved with that, and so was Chow, so was Josh Kushner, Rand Paul, Tom Cotton, Oscar Health, Nikki Haley, Tom Cotton, why he left Mar-a-Lago a day early. This is why he's freaking out. They found out. Okay, so that's it. I know I just said a lot. I have 9% battery. I just wanted to throw this out at you guys. I'm sorry. I know it's so confusing. It's so much information. How are you guys doing? You're welcome, Larry Girl. So this is why things are crazy. And the reason why I had to do this tonight is because this moon is getting closer and closer, creeping to the ascendant. We're less than 12 hours, T-minus 12 hours and counting. When this moon crosses over in about 12 hours tomorrow morning, late tomorrow morning, the poop is going to fly. I don't know what's going to happen, but it's going to go gangbusters. So right now, these secrets he's working on here in the 12th house, he's trying to funnel everything here to his assets and gains. Power and money. Gemini, I think I'm all the power and money. But before that can happen, we're going to find out a bunch of stuff tomorrow and the next day. And then this January 6th, I know everyone's freaking out. You got to wait because we have a third quarter moon in Libra. he always does very poorly with these type of quarter moons. So it's just going to blow up on him. He's done. Go away. Shoot, we're done with you. It's crazy. 9%. Okay. So there you go. Yes, Dreamweaver. Thank you. I'm so excited, Michelle, my bell, because I hope I get a break. I'm so tired of keeping up with them, but I can't stop until the job is done, says my mother. You're welcome, Jazzy J. Thank you, thank you. Oh, you want me to come back tomorrow, Leslie? Okay, you can do that. Carol, what did they find out? Everything. Thank you, Pammy. Thank you, Keisha. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, Mon. So, you just got the scoop before we start this week. I just want to make sure we had this down before we, get whiplash into another crazy week, because he's nuts. He's nuts. They're all nuts. Okay, thanks, you guys. Enjoy your flowers. They're lovely. Okay? Have a good evening. Thanks, moderators. We'll see you soon, okay? Bye. Thank you.